naked shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia.
All right, so
I will take you on a journey across the universe through
show.
shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Hayden, can you hear me on your computer? Okay. I see Chris. Chris has just jumped in, and I see Sherry Snyder. Can you guys hear Hayden? Hayden, go ahead and make a couple 1, 2, 3s there.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Okay. I can hear Hayden. So, and my microphone's set up so you can hear Hayden. So hopefully we can move along here. All right. So Hayden and I are kind of just talking about a little bit about what's been going on. So Hayden, let's recap a little bit. Just go back in time a little bit about what's been going on with you. And as I touch my face, okay, go.
Yeah, sure. So I lost my job. I was working at COSI, and obviously it's a museum. It's a center where a lot of people come together, and so they had to close down. It was January, February, March 13th, and we're kind of used to routines generally at least I'm used to routines when I'm working and doing my thing. So when all that kind of stopped, I kind of struggled there for a little bit. There was like 2-week period that I was not doing so well. I had a hard time coping with the new sort of situation, and I was spending a lot of time thinking and getting hard on myself for not being productive. But I think over time we adjust and adapt to situations, and so recently I've been a lot better. I've noticed the days have been going by very fast, and I just kind of fill my days with little things, and I'm not so worried about productivity necessarily. I just have things to do. I'm like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, and there's no huge thought put into it. I'm also helping my parents out too a little bit. They've got a little project they're working on, so that helps as well. But I'm just finding odds and ends to do. But it's kind of surreal to be in this time. Sometimes I don't really think about anything, like about the whole situation, and other times I realize that we're in a pretty intense period in history. There's a lot of people without jobs. There's a lot of people who are, suffering quite a bit in a lot of ways, and it's something for sure. It's definitely hard to wrap my head around everything. Such a big impact on the whole world. So I just try to do the best I can with what I've got right now.
Right.
Figuring out what I want to do moving forward from here.
Oh, I know the feeling, man. It was kind of funny. This year was kind of I thought this is gonna be the best year of my life. Blah blah blah. Where I'm getting over that hump, and I'm getting over that, that energy, losses and family members and all this stuff. I was going through all that, and like 2020 is gonna be my year, and it could still be my year. It's not over yet. But I was thinking to myself, and the people would call me, "Hey Iggy, we want you to do a birthday party. Hey Iggy, we want you to schedule it for this." And Iggy, I'm going. I'm dragging my feet. I don't know why I'm not moving on these calls, and I'm not sure why I'm not moving on calling people back. And I don't. It was weird. It's kind of out of character for me to like not really respond back. And then one day, it just like happened, and I'm going. I kind of now understand why I didn't commit to anything, because everything was going to get canceled. Everything that I was going to do is canceled pretty much, right, except for one big event. And so I couldn't forecast forward. I mean, I couldn't project forward into time for myself like I usually can to see where I was going to go and what was going to happen. I even started a business, and that business like kind of went away, kind of too, kind of the same thing. A lot of weird things happened, it was like, and now I'm sitting here in my basement, okay? And the one consistency that I have is that I still do my shows, and I'm drumming, and but right now the income has totally dropped, because no one's out there spending that expendable cash. Your fortune's probably you probably could read your own fortune. What's going to happen next month? You're probably going to be locked up. You probably ain't going anywhere. You're probably going to go to the store in 2 weeks because you run out of the food you ate. So people don't have that extra cash to spend. I'm assuming, but I thought it was kind of funny. But I've been kind of keeping myself busy working out. I've been working out a lot. I've been challenging my younger friends to these. See, I have like an iPhone, so that you can do these fitness things. And it keeps track of all your stuff. So far, I've beaten everybody.
Nice.
So my 7-day challenges have been good because I'm consistent. I got nothing to do. But work out and get fit.
Nice. Yeah, it's important. Get physical to move your body. I've been trying to stretch and do things like that to try to keep my body in shape and limber. Because it's easy just to kind of, well, I feel terrible if I don't move, so I kind of have to move at some point to feel good. So it's part of my routine in the day. I just randomly do stretches basically.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you remember the last thing you did before everything had to lock yourself down?
Yeah. Like full quarantine or just
When you got that news where they said don't leave your house, stay home. Not full yet, but full hits in later.
Yeah. Honestly, once COSI closed, I pretty much quarantined because my mom was pretty concerned and my girlfriend's mom was pretty concerned too. So and then all my other friends, I had a friend out in Texas, so I couldn't hang out with her. So honestly, I just kind of was like, all right, looks like we're all quarantining. So I just kind of quarantined early, and then they were like, all right, social distancing. I'm like, oh, I'm already doing it. So
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it just kind of happened. I remember when they just kind of said, well, you're gonna have to stay in your houses and stuff. I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
Communist? We're Americans, damn it. We don't stay in our house. But no, the reality of it is, there is something going on. There's something we can't explain. There's something we can't
in
see.
The community that's dangerous for other people. So in some way, it kind of is. It's not communism, but it's being aware of the impact it has on the community if you go out.
Yeah, but I'm teasing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there was a moment there. I tell you. And I want to say hello to everybody who's popping in. I'm not ignoring you. I see Krista. I see Sandy. I see all you guys there. Michelle. I see everybody. So, Tracy, you guys, welcome to the show. There was a moment there, and I don't know how everybody else feels about this. I don't know how you feel about it. Where I really felt like somebody had hoodwinked us. Like, oh, come on, really? Nah, they just want to control us. We're just sheep. They just want us to stay in our house. And they don't want us to do this or do that. And I got like that. I got like that for a minute. I got that. I don't know if you got like that, but I did for a few minutes. I'm an old guy, so I remember the freedoms that we have. We don't have to give them up freely.
Yeah. I never really got into that. I was just kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's probably like it happened other places in the world, so I figured it was probably not like a conspiracy or something that
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed too like real for it to be fake and widespread. Like it's hard for like a global conspiracy to like happen. I feel like that takes a lot of effort.
But I had a moment like that. I was like, nah, something's not right, man. Something's not right. Oh, there's a lot not right, but I just kind of had that weird feeling. I still kind of have it a little bit, not so much like I did before.
Yeah, well, it's such a big change. It's something so huge that it's like almost hard to believe. It's like, well, how is this possible? So I can understand why it's just like, it just doesn't compute. You're like, what the heck is going on? Like, this doesn't seem like it's real.
Well, I'm a movie buff, so I like movies, and so I'm thinking of this movie, Contagion, and and all the different ones I've been watching, and I'm going, dude, they're doing that right now. That right now, that's happening. Okay. This is going on, So I'm going through the scenarios in my head, going because I like to use movie analogies because life imitates art and art imitates life. Right now, it's kind of both ways. It's kind of doing both. It's kind of doing the symbiotic relationship. What we saw in art now in life is actually happening versus the other way. So for me, it's been really interesting because. I try to do my part as somebody in the community, in the holistic community, metaphysical community, to help the people who are Groundhog Day, Chris doesn't. But it's kind of like I try to do my part to be able to send that message out that this is serious. There's severity to this. There's something that's really going on here that we can't quite explain. And I think, like you said, it's affecting the whole world. So it's not isolated to just one region. This is everybody. There is nobody who's immune from this. Everybody is affected in some way or another. Like in Peru, my country, I believe they just passed an ordinance or a temporary law that the men can go out 3 times a day, every 3 days, and women can go out 2 days. And then on Sunday, nobody goes out. Now I don't know why men get the extra day. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, and why the women can only get 2 days. But I'm assuming it's probably has to do with they just don't want people messing around and screwing off, and I don't know. I still can't see the rationality behind it, but either way, Peru's doing that, and so Peru has been on lockdown for a while. Like they did not mess around. It was like boom, 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. You do not leave your house. You leave your house, you're going to jail, and you don't want to go to jail in Peru. And then if you have to go to work from 5 a.m. and on, then you go to work, and you go to work. There's no piddling around, surfing, or doing whatever they do, soccer, nothing. I've talked to my family, and it's just you talk about lockdown. Our lockdown compared to their lockdown, the way they explained it to me, we got it easy, man. Our lockdown's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, our lockdown's pretty easy. My sister was living in Boston, and she came back to Ohio during this time.
Mm-hmm.
But she said when she was in Boston, it was very eerie because the streets were like normally there's people honking and yelling at each other and lots of noise and stuff, and it was just silent. Like she said, it was like super creepy. Like you're talking about movie stuff. Like that's movie stuff right there. The only thing you need to add is like a little bit of ash, like raining from the sky or something. But but yeah, it's like she said it's creepy. She's like, I'm coming home. Like I'm not staying here. It's too much for me. It's also more risky when you're in a city just because there's not many more people. But she said it was scary for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, my son is in New York and he's in lockdown, and he says it's like a ghost town. New York City is like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And I've been to New York several times. I don't know if you've ever been there, but man, that's a busy place. And now, it's like nobody's there. You walk around a little bit. Here, you see a little bit of traffic. It's not too bad. It depends what part of the town you are here in Columbus, but I noticed that people are just kind of driving around. I do hear a lot of motorcycles revving in the background.
Yeah.
Like, they're like hitting it hard,
Yeah, they're having a heyday. I saw a big group of them. I'm just like, I don't know if you're supposed to be doing that, but
it's funny.
Whatever. Yeah, they're going out and having a good time. I mean, there's no cars on the road, so it's safer for them.
Right.
So I understand. It's warm weather. It's like perfect conditions for cyclists, but.
Yeah, the city never sleeps. That's what Chris Cunningham just said, and they're sleeping now.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely sleeping.
The strangest thing is, I find myself waking up real early. I don't know about you, but there's like during the week, like during the weekend, I just like hit it, snooze button, man. I was like, I think probably just because I'm getting up early all week, but I'm not necessarily going to bed super early. Sometimes I find myself going to bed, and then midday I kind of get a nap. I feel like I'm back in my old European Spanish lifestyle where we had siesta time.
Yeah.
We're taking a little siesta.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Time to sleep. Okay, I'll be back for lunch.
It's too hot outside.
Yeah, it's too hot outside. And then I'm on my hammock in the yard or my swing in the yard, and but that's pretty much it. So. And, I just pray every day and hold ceremony every day that we get through this the best we can because, it's like playing the lotto, and if you don't play the lotto, well, let me explain it to you. Anytime you step out of your house, you have a chance of contracting this thing, and that's the scary part.
Yeah.
That's the scary part for me. That if it's either someone in my family going out the door, or if I'm going out the door, you know, you have a chance of bringing stuff back to your house.
Yeah.
Without even knowing.
Mhm.
And so I've been trying to stay away. And I can't always do it, but I try to stay away from stores as much as possible. Man, and I'm not really a germaphobe kind of guy, but man, I take those sanitized wipes that they have at Walmart or at a Giant Eagle, and I'm like, shh. I'm like, you ain't getting me. No way, buddy.
Yeah, I definitely sanitize the carts because the handles, you never know who touched it before.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely scary. Like, I'm not a paranoid person either when it comes to germs, and there's always a little bit of an edge. Like when I'm at the grocery store, my mind's kind of like, like, should I touch these things, or like, should I wear gloves? Should I
Yeah.
go wash my hands when I get home? I guess like checking out. It's like, do I do my own checkout, or do I go with the person there? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It's just it's just like, man, like I wish it wasn't this way. Like it's so
Mm-hmm.
it's great. It's crazy.
Well, you know what's even crazier is how people walk. Like, like if there's little kids in the stores, I won't even go. I won't even go near them. Like
Mm.
I won't even, just because I don't want to freak their parents out. Plus, I don't want to get like anything from them. Little kids have a
Yeah,
way of catching things and passing things along.
yeah,
And yeah, and I could just see everybody's got like that. There's always that one person though. There's always that one person in the store that's like, dude, you're like 3 feet away from
yeah,
me. You're like 2 feet away from me. Like, can you like move? And I'm like,
yeah,
man, dude, what is wrong with you, Iggy? You've never been like that. You're like the most social person, but now all of a sudden, you're like almost gotta have to be protecting yourself. But it's kind of, it's funny and it's not funny at the same time.
yeah.
And then it's like someone grabs the handle on the doors. Goes, Johnny Eagle, they have these doors that you pull and you
Mm.
open and get the milk out. And I'm going, that guy just touched the door. Should I touch the door? And I'm going, he didn't touch this part. I'll touch this part. It's like, it reminds me. It reminds me of just a real bad movie, dude. It reminds me of a really bad movie. It's just like, and I'm just got that look on my face going, okay, should I touch that door handle? And I'm like, it's it's real, man. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, and
I'm thinking about making a spoof video on my YouTube channel for it because I
oh
think
yeah,
it'd be kind of funny. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's ripe for a comedy video for sure because there's so much stuff that people are going through. I feel
yeah,
like people need some humor right now too. I need some humor. Like, because it's always like the bad stuff, and
hmm,
it's not fun. Like I was walking down the street going like on a walk to the park close to my house, and there was like a mom and a child, and I was gonna step off the street, but as soon as I started getting close to them, before I like could even step off into the street away from them to
yeah,
keep the 6 feet distance, like they walked into somebody's yard to get 6 feet away from me, and I'm like, dang, like it
it,
felt so
isn't
weird,
that weird?
like I was like offended in some way, but I'm like, oh, like I understand it's the virus, but it felt like they were like afraid of me. And it also made me think about people who that happens to them on a daily basis too.
Hmm.
Like people of color and stuff like that. Some people walk like on the other side of the street because of their judgments against them, and I was like, dang, I've never had that happen to me, but now I get like a feeling of what that feels like. It was weird.
Yeah, no. So guys, on this is 6 feet of separation. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, if you're watching the video here, hey, how you doing? This is like a virtual hug. Hey, nice to hug you too. Hey, nice to you. Okay, don't touch me. Don't touch me. How's your day going? Doing good. This is how the neighbors are. They're like, so what's going on, Iggy? Not much, man. Yeah, all's good. Everybody okay over there? Yeah, everybody's good. And we're like this far apart. I mean, like, imagine, that's good, man. Yard looks great. Yeah, yours does too, man. It's like, all right, well, take care. This will be over. This is some crazy shit, isn't it? Yeah, sure is. All right, bye. It's just, it's just like, it's just funny, dude. Usually you walk up to the fence and you're talking to somebody, but we're like yelling. We're always like, are you guys deaf? No, we're just yelling. It's just, uh,
Yeah, if somebody came in like onto the planet and didn't know there was a virus or something, they'd be like, "What the heck is going on with this
Yeah.
place?" Like if they had no idea what was going on, they'd be like, "What's wrong with these people? They're all like staying away from each other."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's kind of funny. It's just how we are, and I wonder how we're gonna be when they give us the okay. It's okay. It's okay to go out there and touch everybody and use discernment. Don't get too crazy now. I mean,
Yep.
people are going to be weird though for a while. I think we're all going to be a little bit strange. We might even, we might just hug. Everybody might just go and just think. Wait till the big drum circle we have. Everybody's going to be like, I've missed you. I'm not going to be like, everybody's be like, ah. Everybody's going to be all like nervous and stuff about touching people.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna go away like quick. I think it's gonna be like a gray area because like some people are gonna have the immunity because they've been through it, and then other
Yeah.
people are not gonna have the immunity. So I think it's gonna kind of taper. Like, um, I don't know. I don't think they're just gonna be like, yeah, it's all good. There's still gonna be precautions, but maybe regular business stuff might start up again.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
guess. Like I
I
think
agree with
it's
you.
like you said, it's gonna be awkward for a little bit probably.
Yeah. I have some spoofs in mind too. I think I started my spoofs too early. Well, it'd be when it started. Everybody was like, take it serious.
Yeah, too
This is
soon, everybody.
serious. Why are you trying to be so funny right now?
Yeah.
Because if we can't laugh at ourselves, my God, I know some of us aren't going to make it, and some of us will. We, but you know what? Can't. But there'll be a time where we can joke about it to
Yeah.
some degree. To some
Yeah.
degree.
Some people, I think some people won't. It won't be a joke. Like I know
No,
there's
no.
people that have lost their jobs that are in poor situations, and it's going to be tough on them. But
Yeah.
you know, yeah,
And people who haven't had a job in a while, this is probably a good normal life. Shit. It's good. See,
yeah.
I grew up Latino. We weren't allowed out of the house when mom and dad went to work. We had to
Mm-hmm.
come home and we were stuck in there. And we look
Mm.
out the window, watch everybody else play. Be like,
That's not
oh,
fun.
that's cool. Can we go outside, brother? No, you can't. Mom and Papa might come down the street, and whoop our ass.
Yeah,
So we're used to quarantine.
yeah.
So it was nothing abnormal. We played at night
Mm.
when my mom and dad got home.
Yeah,
So when everybody else, when the street light came on, that was time to go inside for us. That was time to go outside for a little bit. This is true. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling the truth.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
It's kind of funny. I'm actually working on a comedic script for something I'm gonna do. My Latino life, you know, about how growing up Latino in America as an immigrant, and so I've been working on that. So I played guitar today. I don't know if you saw that. I played guitar today, and I don't play but two chords of guitar, and that's it.
Yeah,
But but I was having fun with it, and then I drummed a little bit.
yeah.
But it's funny. So I'm gonna ask people here in the group, post and tell me the weirdest thing that has happened to you about
Melissa
the
has a good
quarantine.
one.
Huh?
Melissa has a good one. She said she forget that when she's wearing a mask at a grocery store, people can't see her smiling.
Oh yeah. There was a time if you wore a mask into a store or went to the bank with a mask on, that was like a flag, red flag. You know, you don't walk
Oh,
into a bank, you don't walk into stores with a mask on usually. So it's
oh,
been kind of interesting. Before it was like, hey, we don't want you to wear no mask in the bank, okay? But now it's like we need them, and we don't
yeah.
have enough of them.
Yeah, I heard they're recommending that everybody wears them now because they don't want the people who aren't showing symptoms to spread it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have my American mask. Well, I don't know where it's at now, but when we were growing up, this was our mask.
I can't see it, but I'm guessing it's funny.
It's my shirt over my face.
Oh, okay.
What's up? Yeah. Like my mask? Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm waiting for Hayden to laugh. I have to explain. I have to paint a picture for him.
Yeah, the feed is a little bit behind what we're seeing. Now I see it. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's uh that's kind of
Yeah.
how it is. But I don't know if you've been following my stuff because I know you've been kind of in your own little world, and we all been in our own little worlds. But
Yeah.
I had talked about this being a new awakening, a new renaissance. Many people have talked about awakening, but for me,
Yeah.
this is kind of like a new renaissance of creation. Where after major catastrophes or plagues and stuff, there's always some kind of great things. A new day arrives and comes from that, and
Yeah.
so I don't know what you think about that. You and I are difference in age. So I'm 50, you're in your 20s. So there's. What do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
Yeah. So I would definitely agree with you. I think that no matter what kind of tragedy or massive thing that happens to a culture or a world, I think that after something like that, there's always some sort of insight or revitalization or some sort of coming together, creativity, new things. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I look on an individual level, like from my own experience, when something very devastating happens or something really hard happens, usually there's some sort of new element that gets brought into the equation for that person. There's a new lesson, a new insight, a new growth that needs to happen. And some people are able to recover from that, other people aren't. So we'll see how we're able to recover and how we're able to sort of deal with this sort of experience that we've had. But I've seen a lot of people coming together and really realizing that we're all in this together in the world. And so I think it's really kind of bringing people together overall. And I think people will never forget this,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially if you're older than like 13 years old, but even people younger than that. So I think part of the lessons that we learn in this experience are going to, follow through, and that sort of feeling of being as one, like in quarantine and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
those messages are probably going to come through and unfold in some way, whether it be, um, maybe taking care of some some people who are underserved in our communities, or whether it be, I don't know, like maybe healthcare is
Mm-hmm.
like a thing that is more of a priority in our country. I
Okay.
mean, I'm getting into political stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know. Like we'll see. I definitely think that it's shaking things up, and when you shake things up, new insights come through. There's no way you can't see the world the same way after going through something like this than you did before this happened.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm saying. So when you have a new perspective, new manifestation basically happens because you have a different platform to work from.
So now you're a millennial, right? Is that correct? You fall in the millennial category.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you think millennials are going to remember 2020? Are they going to go, "Oh, I survived the plague of 2020"?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
When you get to be my age, because I won't be around by then.
Yeah, for me, I think I think it's gonna be remembered as a time where we all kind of suffered together.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause a lot of people, it's realizing the impact that one person or a population can have on the whole world. I guess, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know. There's a lot of millennials out there. Um, I don't know if it's millennials or Gen Z that aren't taking it seriously and going out and partying and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what they're getting out of it from, like, what they're learning from the experience. But I think it's something that, like, when people have kids and stuff, their kids are gonna ask them, like, "Hey, were you around when coronavirus happened?" And they'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Yeah, I was there." And they'll be like, "Well, how was it like?" And they're like, "Well, it was pretty intense. Like."
Yeah.
A lot of quarantine. Like I lost some friends. Like some people died that I knew and stuff. Because it's like they say it's like 1 out of 100 people. So if you know 100 people, which everybody knows probably more than 100 people, one of them is going to die. Which is, I hate to say it, but that's kind of what the trend has been. And so it's going to
Yeah.
have an impact on communities.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know long term, but for me, it's going to be like, even though it seems like it's a really big world out there, it's not really as big as we thought because everybody's affected by the same thing.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting, It's kind of interesting that, as, people have posted here about the blizzard of 78, that's probably one of the, it wasn't really a tragedy, but it was like a lock in. We got locked in and
Mm-hmm.
we had to go to school on TV because we didn't have computers back then. We actually had
Yeah.
to watch, I think it's Channel 34 or some other channel where we had to actually tune in and we had to
Mm-hmm.
actually take our classwork on TV until all the snow melted, basically. And so that was pretty interesting how that went. And now the kids today, some schools, some districts, and some states have totally canceled the year already, like in Georgia, from my understanding. I'm not
Yeah.
sure about Ohio, but some kids are online computer school, and so, and even colleges are that way. The biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing that I've noticed is that they totally shut down everything like restaurants, bars, laundromats. I'm not sure about laundromats, but they shut down the strip clubs. They shut down wherever people go. Where there's
Yeah.
ever where people can congregate. They've
Mm-hmm.
totally shut down. So now the only thing that hasn't really been shut down is the grocery stores per se,
Mm-hmm.
and which is kind of it's kind of scary. When you think about it, when you expose people to that kind of environment, I really feel bad to some degree, and I know they're working and I know they're getting some pay, but they're really these people who are pushing the carts and people who are manning the stores and stocking the shelves. I commend them for doing that because you know what that's not to take away from doctors and nurses and stuff because they're on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
But these people are actually putting their lives at risk to make sure that we have things in order for them to make a paycheck because they need to get paid.
Yeah.
I wish there was a better way to handle that situation so they wouldn't be exposed to this because you know they've already had one person passed away who worked in a store. So it's like you said, it's a real thing. And it makes me really nervous for them.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're out of the woods yet. And I know they talked about this week's going to be the hardest week, blah blah blah. But see, I don't buy into that either. I don't want to give it that attention, that energy as well.
Right.
I also want to share. I also want to be positive, and I want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. They don't
Mm-hmm.
talk. They don't talk about the people who've healed. They don't talk a lot about it. They don't bring that up. They don't say, well, 50 people died, but 4,000 people healed. They don't talk about that, and they
Yeah.
really need to emphasize and stress that. And I think the only reason that they don't do that is because they don't want to give a false negative per se. People go,
Yeah.
well, hey, people are getting healed. Okay, well, I'm going to go to the park and swing on the swing and touch this and touch that. I
Right.
think maybe they think that we're just ignorant and that we just don't know. And I hate to say it, there's some dumb people out there, and don't take that wrong because there's some people who just don't have any regard for themselves and other people.
Right.
And that's just the reality. That's life. Some of
Right.
those people. You may be some of those people, and you know that's and
And
sorry,
we've all been one of those people at some point.
and I've been that person sometimes, and but there's a point. There should be a point where you wake up and you go, you know, I think I better stop doing this because I'm really playing Russian roulette with my life.
Yeah.
And basically it's a crapshoot right now. It's the lotto, and this is a
Mm-hmm.
lotto you don't want to win. This is not a gamble that you want to take
Right.
because
Yeah.
I know that we all have the same ticket to wherever we go when we transition, we leave the earth, but you don't need the accelerated transfer, okay, on the express line if you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. There's still more lessons to learn here.
I think so. I believe that in my mind that I have some more lessons to learn,
Yeah. I
and
know you do.
you know, this is a huge lesson for humanity. This is a large lesson for life. This is a large, super, super powerful lesson for everyone to like understand what's going on. To understand that life, what we're facing here is we're not the only living creature on this planet. We are not the supreme apex predator. We are not the most intelligent life form. You know, this virus has no DNA, it has no RNA, and it still is able to live and manifest and be create and move through its life, hopping from host to host. So this is a very intelligent, sentient being. This is something that's very, very much alive, like you and me. And Mother Earth does not pick favorites, and I say this all the time. She does not pick favorites, and she's not going, well, I want virus to win, I want human to win. No, she just does her thing. She does what she does, and she's not cursing one or the other. And and I'm going to say something, because and I don't know if you agree with me or not, and I don't know if people agree with me. I don't think God's punishing us, okay? And I don't think, if anybody's punishing us, it's us for not doing the proper things and taking care of this planet, okay? Not to get religious and not to get too on the bandwagon with that, but I hear all kinds of crazy stuff from all kinds of people, because I know all kinds of people. When you're in this business, you know everybody, and you know everybody, a lot of people in the ways they come across. I've heard people say, "Oh, we're being punished for our sins," and blah blah blah. I'm like, how? Explain that to me. How is that possible? But some people really believe that. Some people believe that that God is punishing them, and that God is reminding us who's in charge. No, I think Mother Earth is reminding us that we fucking this shit up. I don't know. What do you think, man? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I don't think that punishment is something that God really does. I think that we have lessons to learn, and we bring those lessons upon ourselves. I think that if we were, there's just things that happen and they're neutral, and then we decide what we want to do with those events, for ourselves. Because like you said, we're not the dominant. A lot of people think we're the dominant species on the planet, but I think that's just very ethnocentric and self-centered thing to think. But other species have gone extinct from just disease or humans or other things, and they lost, I guess you could say, and we're no different than them. But we do have all actions have karmic sort of implications. So if I'm mean to somebody, that has an impact on their life, but it also has an impact on sort of my state and my vibration, and so that's going to have a ripple effect. And if you continue to do things like that, eventually, things like that will come back to you in some way. That's my belief, because you're just putting that energy out there. So if you can hear my cat.
Yeah, I heard your cat going. She was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm here." His cat.
But yeah, I think that something like this could be a wake-up call. It could be a reminder from from guidance from ancestors or from Earth, or it depends what we want to make it. If you want to make it punishment, then it's punishment. If you want to make it an insight, an awakening, and a way to view your world in a new way, then it can be. It all depends on what kind of energy you want to sort of paste onto it. That's the person's choice, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. I believe that. I do believe that the earth is going through a cleansing. I do believe that. Now, the only thing that I haven't been able to experience, and some people have experienced, because I've been kind of trying to do the right thing by staying, because I'm a very bad person. I will just go explore and just get myself into trouble. So, that's just the way I am. But so it's been a very good discipline for me to sit here and just be in my space. But I've heard a lot of reports, and I've watched some news. I don't try to watch the news too much because it's kind of redundant right now. Everybody's dying.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I've heard good reports that there's the waters are clearing in Venice. I'm hearing that the skies are bluer. The dolphins have come back into Venice and are actually swimming through the channel, the canals and the channels and stuff. And I haven't seen this, but I've seen some pictures, and I think that's, if anybody has seen that kind of stuff, let me know. What have you noticed, everybody out there? What have you noticed that you probably maybe didn't notice before? Maybe you just noticed them because now you have to notice them because your life has completely been turned upside down, that before you just drove past it. But I do hear that the waters are clearing. I have heard, and you and I talked a little bit about the ozone fixing itself slightly, not completely, because, you said it'd take a little bit longer than we probably, think that probably does. But I don't know. Have you noticed anything? I mean, what have you noticed? Something that sticks out. Have you noticed anything that's kind of like pretty significant that you probably before didn't really see?
You and me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and the and the, and the audience.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't spent like I've gone to little parks and stuff like that. I just what I notice is like the stillness, like
Mm-hmm.
the silence, and like just the kind of it's just nice to go to parks and just nice to be outside. And like I see a lot of people walking outside. I see a lot of people sort of taking their time, and there's less of a rushed busyness feeling that is normally the hustle and bustle,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of the stillness. There's definitely like some fear, obviously, but people are just more relaxed in some way. Like in other ways, some people are stressed, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's more like you were saying earlier when I was talking to you. It's the way life used to be in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
There were things to do, but when you were done with your day's work, you'd come home. There were no video games. There were no videos. Maybe you'd read a book,
Mm-hmm.
but you'd probably just hang out around a fire or just talk to your relatives or hang out with your friends outside. I mean, we can't do that, but it's it's a slower pace of life, but the days go by faster for me. Like I don't wake up and like wonder what I'm gonna do. I just do whatever I feel like doing. That's what I feel like humans have done for thousands of years until we started having bills to pay and
Mm-hmm.
rents to make and all that stuff. There was an ease of life, and I think knowing what we want to do in life was easier because we would just wake up and be like, well, I feel like doing this today, and
Mm-hmm.
I have responsibilities to the community. I'll do those real quick, and then just live your life.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of nice to sink back into that feeling, um, because it's rare that that really happens because we're always busy and have things to do. So I've noticed that, and then nature obviously is always still and calm and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, woo, I'm glowing. That's a nature.
It's almost
Yeah,
like being Amish or Mennonite, I guess, huh? Or more like Amish to some degree.
yeah, yeah. I guess so. Yeah, for sure.
You're kind of like, except we don't have the buggies, but it gets dark, you go home, and just very sedentary. It's almost like if you talk about sedentary, and we're like really sedentary now, to some degree.
Yeah, well, especially because we can't like go outside and well, we can go outside, but we can't like exercise as much and stuff and
Yeah.
move around, hustle bustle.
But I think this has been good. I did, like Krista pointed out, that the wildlife is a little bit more abundant. I have seen a lot of rabbits, and I've seen a whole bunch. I don't see the big birds around my house like I used to. Used to fly around, but I see tons of birds, like tons of little birds are just chirping. Now, today I was chirping with them. I was just like imitating them, and they were going, "Dude, what is that?" You could just.
Yeah,
They're like,
what is he doing?
"That dude, that is like a
He's got
crazy
a weird
bird.
dialect.
What kind of bird is that?"
Yeah.
Crazy human, talk about my mom like that. Shame on you. No, but it's just kind of like, you notice things. My neighbors have been, they have those little ring apps on their doorways. They've taken pictures of coyotes walking down the street. I see
Wow.
tons of deer and stuff, especially where I live.
Yeah.
The skunk, and but rabbits like crazy though. Rabbits,
Yeah.
like, I see there's one rabbit was following me, but I'm not sure if he was following me. It was just another rabbit in someone else's yard. It just seemed like every time I turned around, that rabbit was right there on my walk, and I'm like,
Yeah. That's probably why the coyotes are there. All of the rabbits.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Are you following me? He goes, oh no, dude, you confused, man. I live here. That's the guy on the other side of the street. But it's just kind of like, it's just like, it just felt like there's rabbits everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the medicine wheel, like you and I studied, is the rabbit is the looks within. It's creatures that burrow. So it's also
Mm-hmm.
about introspect and looking into ourselves and healing ourselves and working on those deep core issues.
Mm-hmm.
So and getting into that, I wanted to shift a little bit because I want. Have you had crazy dreams?
I've had more, yeah, I've had
Okay,
more dreams,
all right.
definitely. I've definitely had more dreams, especially because, like, I'll usually take a nap during the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have a lot of dreams during my nap, too. But yeah, I've been having a lot of dreams about different. I actually had a dream with you Um, yeah, you were teaching me shaman tricks, and you sent me on a little expedition to like go
All right,
learn
cool.
some things. Yeah,
Well,
it was like a quest. I'd like collect items and then put it together.
nice.
It's kind of neat. Reminded
Awesome.
me of like a video game or something. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You know, it's funny because I've had some dreams too, and they've been really powerful, like very powerful dreams, like this deep, like almost like ayahuasca dreams, like dreams where you, like when you take the medicine. And
Uh huh.
so I've had these dreams of being in my home, my old home where I grew up.
Mhm.
And this one dream, I was going to the back door of my house, and I could feel and it was an old window, which just kind of had like a little plexiglass that had a little give to it. And
Mhm.
I'm going to the door, and I'm going up to the door, and I'm looking through the window, and it starts to like pulsate, and I put my hands on it because it's like pushing, like something's trying to push through the door. And it's like, it's like, and finally it just goes, just pushes through, and I scream, ah! I wake up screaming out of my dream, ah! And I just wake up, and I'm like, oh my god, that was crazy. But I've been having like some really deep, profound, dreams, and that's just one of many. I've been having
Yeah.
some really deep core regression dreams about my life, about the work I do, what I need to do, what I'm not doing. And so the biggest message from my guidance from spirit was keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't look. Just keep going. Analyze it later. Don't analyze it right now. Just keep going.
Mhm.
So it's been like really, I've been on this journey. Like there's been like this person with me, walking with me, guiding me, on this journey.
Mhm.
And it's just been really very powerful. These dreams have been very powerful.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to go to sleep sometimes because I get some cool messages.
Yeah.
And then it's just crazy dreams. I don't know, you guys, everybody in the studio audience there, have you guys had any dreams? Anything crazy that you want to let's see, ancestral dreams. I've seen owls and birds pray in why visions. Okay. Yeah, so people are having some kind of dreams. So there's been some interesting stuff going. We're definitely moving through some powerful energies.
Mhm.
And so, what do you look forward? What do you want? I know that you and I are working together, and I'm teaching you things that I know, and you're learning some things on your own as well, because that's what happens when you do this work.
Right.
What do you want? What do you hope to see for yourself and for humanity, and for the
Mhm.
next 6 months? What would you like to see happen in this with this world?
Whew, that's a big question. Let's see. For myself, I'd like to see myself like move more into a state of peace and not worrying so much about what I should be doing and just
Mm-hmm.
doing things and just taking action instead of um, having shoulds or expectations on myself. I think that's an easy trap to get stuck into.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think sometimes just doing things is the best way to move forward, and I've definitely been feeling like I've been moving more into that recently, which is nice. As far as the community and the world, I hope that people are like looking out for each other and
Mm-hmm.
being respectful and following what they need to do and making sure they're quarantining because the more people actually follow what they're supposed to be doing, um, I think the better it's going to sort of resolve itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if people start kind of resisting the process and trying to do their own thing, it's going to create problems from the community, which I think people are doing. But I hope that people are going to help each other out because there's some people who are not suffering so much from this, and then there's some people who are suffering quite a bit. So I'm hoping that people will have a good heart, and it seems like the government's doing their best to try to help people who need help. But there's going to be people that slip under the radar and kind of fall below what they're comfortable living at, and so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that people will step up and um, help those people because it's not anyone's fault necessarily. Specifically, I don't think,
Mm-hmm.
unless we're talking about karma stuff, which then it's everyone's fault. But I don't know if that's the case, but
Right.
still, we're in a coming together. So I hope that people kind of get that message. Yeah.
Good, good. You know, I think what's going to happen for a lot of people is there's going to be a lot of confusion in the beginning. There's going to be a lot of letting go and releasing of things that don't serve them anymore. And that's hard to let go of stuff that you've anchored yourself with and you're connected with for so long, you know? All those things that, you know, you used to use as an excuse to say why you're wounded and why you can't move forward. Well, I think you're going to be faced with that. You're going to come face to face with that, and it's going to look you in the face, and you're going to make a choice. Do I continue down that same road with the old crapola that I've been holding on, that anchor that's on my butt back here that's been dragging, you know? Or am I going to take off the anchor and walk this path here? Okay? And I know some people here on this live stream have taken the anchor off and have moved in that direction. And that direction doesn't mean you have to stay there very long. Sometimes you just have to experience it. But I think right now you're going to see a lot of frustration because frustration is part of letting go. It's part of you going, well, it's resist. You know, what we resist persists. Okay? There's going to be a lot of that in the beginning. And then you're just going to, I think people are just going to have these meltdowns, these breakdowns, and they're going to have these emotional discharges about what's going on in their life. They're going to remember things that, you know, they hadn't remembered for years. And they're going to remember things that they didn't even know they even did. You know, they're just going to go through this gamut of overflow of emotions and things that are happening to them because when you're in solitude and when you're in quiet, the only voice that you can personally hear is your own. And eventually, when that monkey mind kicks in and it starts chattering, it's hard to turn off. It's hard to turn yourself off and go, click, I don't want to hear myself. You know, that's why we turn on the TV. That's why we turn on the radio. That's why we read a book. That's why we create these distractions. That's why we go to the bar. That's why we go to a drum circle. That's why we go to a meditation. You know, that's why we do this and that because we want to disengage with ourselves. But right now, we have to engage ourselves. We need to engage who we are. We need to really figure out how we play a part in this world because I truly believe, and you know me, Hayden, I believe that everybody has purpose on this planet, you know, and you're a divine instrument, okay, to help create. If you can help one person change their life, then you've done your job. And if you can change your own life and manifest and create for yourself, then you've done your job.
Yeah.
Because when you're able to manifest and create for yourself, you can't help but that rub off on somebody else. Oh, well, look, Hayden and Iggy, they're making a difference in their community, you know, boom. And then you know what? They can do it, I can do it. Damn, if Iggy can definitely do it, I can definitely do it, you know? It's kind of like that, you know? And it's not even about being special or gifted because we're all gifted. We're all special. We all bring magic. We all bring these elements that is ourselves, okay? Every single person on this planet has an intuition, has a manifestation, a creation. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be where you are.
Right.
You're the creations that you've created, or you are where you are because of the manifestation and creations that you are, and of all of the energies and stuff, and all the things that you've learned from the other people before you, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your brothers, your sisters, and you project all those projections pushed forward onto you. You can't but help believe some of that. But this is a time for you to now to re-look at all those judgments that other people have placed upon you in front of your face. And you go, no. Because in my comedic script, okay, there's the thing that I wrote. He's the crazy uncle, you know. Nacho's the crazy uncle. But what you don't know about most people, everybody has a crazy uncle or aunt. But every time you go from a different family member to another family member, there's always the crazy uncle or aunt on both sides. You're probably the crazy uncle or the crazy aunt to somebody else. So the judgments that are placed upon you now, you have to review them and you have to look at them and go, do they serve me? And now when we're in this quiet, in this abyss of our own mind, it can become a very dark place. And you know what? And I'll be the first one to say that. Some things have become dark because I have to address them. I have to look at them. And you know what? This isn't fairy tale land for me. This is reality. I'm moving through my emotional state of mind. And it's been good for me. But it's also been very challenging for me because I am a high energy person who has to constantly be doing something in moving or my downtime. When I'm down, I'm down. Like when I relax, I relax. And when I'm up, I'm up. So to try to find the middle ground for me has been a really good lesson in learning and working through that. So for me, everybody in this planet, everybody, you, me, everybody, doesn't matter. Even the person you don't like, they're all magical. They all bring something to the game. They all bring something to this planet. They all raise the vibration in some way or another. They all affect something or someone or something. It doesn't matter, bad or negative. You affect your vibration, your energy pushes and projects outward. And in the same way as it projects outward, we also receive. We're a receiver. We take in. So we have to be very careful what we take in.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Kat? See, the cat agrees with me.
Yeah. Hello, buddy. What's she doing? Huh? You like
Yeah.
Speech?
Yeah, she's rebuttaling what I'm saying.
Yeah. I disagree on a few points.
Yep. Cats too. Cats too. No dogs. Yeah, so I don't know, but now that your cat was on, it reminds me of that video I shared where the cats are dinging the bells and getting food. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not.
Yeah, I saw that video. It's funny.
That's so hilarious, man. I was like, I had to make a watch party for that because it was so funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Ding, ding. It's conditioning, right? Ding. But you know why I post that, right?
Why?
Because I wanted to see who, and only I think one person out of all the people said, well, there we are. There we are. We know how to ring the bell when we need something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they also know how to ring the bell to us when they need something.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's about ringing our bell and receiving what we need to receive. If we're quiet and we're in solitude, that's great. But you know what? A baby who doesn't cry doesn't eat. Okay, so this is a moment for us to be vocal in a nice, beautiful, gentle way versus to be, belligerent and loud. And I think that's what's important about right now, is that it's so loud in the quiet sometimes. For me, in the solitude, is really loud, but it's also very soft. It has all the components.
Yeah, I think the solitude is definitely. I have a similar experience as what you were saying of like some of the things that I wasn't paying attention to have been coming up. Like when I was busy and distracted, they weren't there. Well, they were there, but I wasn't paying attention to them. And so when all that sort of stuff settled down, it was like, oh man, there's these thoughts that I haven't really paid attention to, and it's been